Hello, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. I welcome you all to this episode 27 of the Golden Words series, inshallah. In this episode, we are looking at this poem called Shukran ala kulli shay, written by Huzaifa al-Arji. I hope I've gotten the second name right, but the first name is Huzaifa. It's a nice poem. Not really one of these top class poem, but it is a very nice poem in terms of its expressions and how he's communicating the emotions. It's just so perfect. The language flows and all that. So I just chose this one. It's lengthy, more than I think around 20 abiyat, but then we will try to be quick with it, inshallah. It's not so difficult, so we wouldn't take much time with it. Okay, so the title again, Shukran ala kulli shay, thanks for everything. So Huzaifa starts by saying, and this one I think, let's name it something like Anthem of the Broken Heart. Somebody whose heart is broken and is kind of complaining. So he says, قد مات شيء بقلبي فاذهبي الآنا. قد مات شيء بقلبي, something has died in my heart. فاذهبي, and so leave. الآنا, now. قد مات شيء بقلبي فاذهبي الآنا, something has died out in my heart, so leave now. Then he says, ليت الذي كان, how I wish that which was, مما كان, among those things that were, ما كان, was never. How I wish that which was, among those things that were, never was. So he wishes that that thing that happened, what he is talking about, that which was here, is the love that happened between himself and his beloved. He wishes that it never existed. So it's ليت الذي كان مما كان ما كان. Okay. Then he says, حق علي وقلبي لست أملكه لو كنت أملكه أن أرحل الآنا. So check the text. Let me rearrange this bait for us. Is حق علي أن أرحل الآنا. So you pick the first, then you pick it at the end. حق علي أن أرحل الآنا. It is a responsibility on me to leave now, to depart now. لو كنت أملك قلبي, if I had authority over my heart. وقلبي لست أملكه, and my heart I do not own it. So he is saying that now he should leave. حق علي أن أرحل الآنا. It is incumbent upon me that, or it is most expedient that I leave now. But I would have left if I had authority over my heart. But I do not own that authority. I do not have that authority. And then he says, شكرا على كل شيء كان أضحكنا. This is where the title comes in. So he says, شكرا على كل شيء كان أضحكنا. أضحك, to make somebody laugh. So he says, thanks for everything that made us laugh. وعاد, and came again and returned. لحظة, at the moment, شردنا فأبكانا. This thing that made us laugh came again at the time that we were parting ways. لحظة شردنا. Shurida is to break apart, to cause some break. Sharada, from the verb sharada. So he's saying that, and when we say shuritu, that is, I've been displaced. So you are there with somebody and there is a breakup and everybody goes their way. That's what he's explaining. He's saying thanks for everything that made us laugh. This thing that made us laugh is our emotions, the love, the friendship. But at the moment, lahazata shuridna, at the moment we were going our ways, ada, this thing returned. Fa'abkana, and caused us to cry. Abka, to cause somebody to cry. That is, the emotions at the time of breakup is the one that causes the tears. It is the same emotions during the time you are together that causes you to be happy. So he thanked it and also mentioned that it comes to cause tears. And he says, أحببت كاذبة من بعد كاذبة. I have loved a liar. I have loved a liar after a liar. من بعد كاذبة. So he loves one person and the person lies to him. He loves another, the person lies to him. So it's like he keeps on falling in love with liars. So he says, أحببت كاذبة. I have loved a liar. من بعد كاذبة. After I left one liar. Then he says, لا بارك الحب فيمن حبه خانا. Says love, he prays that love should not bless the one whose love deceives. لا بارك الحب, may love never bless فيمن حبه خانا, the one whose love deceives. And then he says, لا تطلبي الوصل, do not request a connection again. لا تطلبي الوصل, do not request connection again. إني صرت أكرهه, for now I hate these meetings. Do not request a meeting such that we will get to connect. Do not request it. For now, فإني, for indeed I, صرت أكرهها. صرت is from صار, to become. For now I have grown to hate it. صرت أكرهها, for now I hate it. أقسى من الحجر بعد الوصل أحيانا. He says أقسى. When we say أقسى, that is something that is most severe on you, something that hurts so much. And he's saying that أقسى من الحجر بعد الوصل أحيانا. Sometimes some meetings you do with some people hurts more than when they lived, they go their way. Al-Hajr, that is when they departure. Okay, so some بعد الوصل أحيانا أقسى من الحجر. Some connections, some meetings are more painful than the beloved leaving. Sometimes if you should come eye to eye with the beloved, you grow some pain due to certain things that are happening. And then he says, كل الجميلات, all beautiful ones, كذابات, are liars. Ya أسفي, oh mine. Like he's feeling sorry that every beautiful one he's meeting is a liar. Then he says, على فؤاد, they lie to a chest. على فؤاد, a heart. They lie to a heart. قضى فيهن هيمانا. This heart spends its life or its time فيهن, with them, هيمانا. هيمانا is to be ardently in love, to be passionately in love. That is what we call hayman. From hama yahumu, hayman, to be seriously in love. So he says all these beautiful ones are liars, and they lie to his heart. They lie to a heart that spends its time passionately in love with them. Then he says Arjooke, Arjooki, because he's speaking with a lady. Arjooki kufi ani التمثيل وانصرفي. He's pleading with her, Arjooki, please. Kufi ani التمثيل, stop acting. وانصرفي, and leave. ففي ضلوعي, ضلوع, the plural of ضلع or ضلع, the plural of ضلع, that is one rib, ضلع, one rib. And he says ضلوع, he says ففي ضلوعي, for in my ribs. من الآهات, ahad is the plural of ahin, to be in pain and be like He says in his ribs, من الآهات, from this ahad, these pains and this kind of worries, بركانا, says ففي ضلوعي من الآهات بركانا, for there has been a volcano created in me that has been created by this that kind of feeling of pain has created a form of volcano in me. So he says, Arjuki kufi ani التمثيل وانصرفي. I'm pleading with you, stop all these actions and leave. ففي ضلوعي من الآهات بركانا, for these pains that I've been complaining about has now formed a volcano within my ribs. Then he says, دمعات عينيك هذه لا تؤثر بي. دمعات, the tears of your eyes, عينيك هذه, the tears of these two eyes of yours, لا تؤثر to affect, أثر to affect. It says لا تؤثر be, it does not affect me. These tears you are crying does not affect me. فوفريها, so save it. وفريها, save it. لقد دمرت إنسانا, you've indeed damaged a human being. You've damaged a human being. دمرت, دمر to damage. And he says إن الذي, indeed the one, رغم كل البعد جمعنا, the one who regardless, رغم كل البعد, regardless of all distances, جمعنا, brought us together. هو الذي رغم كل القرب أقسانا, he is the same person that regardless of how close we were has parted us away. Aksana, that is, has taken us far away from each other. So here he's speaking to his beloved that he is leaving, but these are words of hope and that he's come to the realization that staying is more painful. And so he's assuring her that the one, that is God Almighty, who indeed, regardless of their distance, maybe he was in Kumasi, she is in Accra, or maybe he is in Ghana, she is in Burkina, but God brought them together. So he says, إِنَّ الَّذِي رَغْمَ كُلِّ الْبُعْدِ جَمَّعَنَا, the one who, regardless of all the distance, brought us together. هُوَ الَّذِي رَغْمَ كُلِّ الْقُرْبِ أَقْسَانَا, he is the same one that, regardless of our closeness, is putting us apart. Okay, then he says, madati, madda, to stretch. And he says, madati, you've stretched, sahara'aki al-kubra, your big desert or your great desert, bigalzatiha or bigilzatiha, with its harshness. The desert is harsh because there's no water in it. It's not flexible. That is gilza. That is why we call galiz. That is, if you say somebody is galiz al-qalb, the person has a tough heart. He's not a hospital. So he says, madati, he's telling the lady, he says, madati sahara akil kubra, you've stretched your tough desert, tough great desert, bigilzatiha, with its toughness and harshness, ala fuadi, on my chest. You stretched your desert, your harsh great desert, on my chest. Fama abqaiti bustana, and you did not leave in it a garden. That is, the desert has washed away the garden. It has covered the whole garden. That is what he's describing here. So he says, madati sahara'aki al-kubra, Sahara is desert. Madati sahara'aki al-kubra bigilzatiha ala fuadi, fama abqaiti bustana. He's using this as symbolic. She's not a desert, of course. She doesn't have a desert. That is, she's taking her bad characters, and when she connected with him, she has spoiled all the beautiful traits in him. That is what he's representing with the garden, bustan. She has spoiled with her bad character, which is the Sahara akil kubra bigilzatiha. That is her bad character that he's picturing like that. So when she came with him, she's now spoiled. She's spoiled all the beauty in him. Fama abqaiti bustana, you did not live therein a single garden. Then he says, ma anti lawla kitabati siwa mra'atin, you are nobody if not for my writings, but just a woman. You are just a woman if not for my writings. Siwa kitabati, if not for my writings. That he started with saying, ma anti, who are you? Lawla kitabati, if not for my writings. Siwa mra'atin, except just a woman, one of these women around. You are nothing special. And then he says, yalukuha ad-dahru farhanan wa ghadbana. This woman is being chewed by time, the era. Farhanan, in happy times, wa ghadbanan, and in angry times or in disturbed times. Time keeps chewing the woman. Chewing her how? Life keeps masticating her. When we say yaluku, from laka, to masticate, to chew something. It says, you are nobody. You are just one of these normal women walking around. If not for my writings that have exalted you so much in, you would have just been one of these women walking around, and time is having so much effect on them. And then he says, Ammartu, ammara, for the record, is to build. Ammara, to build. So he says, Ammartu bi-shi'ri min khaddayki li watanan. I have built for myself a country or a nation, min khaddayki, bi-shi'ri, with poetry, min khaddayki, from your cheek. That is, I've used poetry to build for myself a nation on your cheek. وَمِنْ عُيُونِكِ يَا عَيْنَايَ أَوْطَانًا. And I've also, here he says watanan, the first one, he says أَمَّرْتُ بِالشِّعْرِ, I have built with poem, min khaddayki, on your cheek, li watanan, I've built a country for myself. And the second part of the bait, he says وَمِنْ عُيُونِكِ, and from your eyes, Ya aynaya, oh my eyes. That is, her eyes is his eyes. Says, Wamin oyuniki, and from your eyes, Ya aynaya autana, and from your eyes I have built countries or motherlands. That is, he's trying to describe that she was his center, she was his everything. Okay. And then he says, Sa'adhaku الآنا, I will laugh now. إِذَا لَا شَيْءَ يَقْتُلِنِي, if nothing kills me. Yani she was pressuring his life. Now he will laugh since she's not dead. And then he says, مِنْ بَعْدِ قَتْلِكِ لِي زُورًا وَبُهْتَانًا. After you've already killed me forcefully and with lies. After you've already killed me forcefully and with lies. سَأَضْحَكُ الْآنَ, I will laugh now if nothing fights me again, or if nothing kills me again. Okay. And then he says, فَإِنْ بَكَيْتُ وَوَجْهِي ضَاحِكٌ فَرَحًا. So if I should cry, إِنْ بَكَيْتُ, if I should cry, وَوَجْهِي, and my face, ضَاحِكٌ فَرَحًا, my face is laughing in happiness. فَالْفَرْحُ, know that happiness, يُطْلِعُ بَعْدَ الْوَقْتِ أَحْزَانًا. Sometimes it reveals يطلع أطلع يطلع, it reveals بعد الوقت, at times, أحزانا, sadness. So if I should cry within, and when you look at me you see me laughing from my face, he is telling you that sometimes some happiness reveals the sadness in somebody. You see the person all laughing and all that, but somebody who really know the person can see that no, this person is not really laughing. Okay, and then he says, Juruhul Ahibbati Indi, the harm or the injuries my beloveds have caused me. Juruhul Ahibbati Indi, Kulluhu Alamun, is all pain. When a beloved deceives you, it is really painful. That is what he's saying here. My beloveds, if they should hurt me, if they should cause me injury, he's saying that Kulluhu Alamun, it is all pain. It is all about pain. Then he says, Ma askhaf al-jurha im min gayrihim kana. Ma askhaf al-jurha. Askhafa is from the verb sakhif. And when we say sakhif, that is something that is not really of any weight. It doesn't really carry any weight. It's not really problematic. Something light, not weighty. So he says, Ma askhaf al-jurha. How demeaning or how ridiculous the injury will be in min gayrihim kana, if it was someone else and not my beloveds who hurt me. It wouldn't have been so painful. But the injuries beloveds have caused me is all pain. And when somebody causes me pain or somebody injures me, and it's not from somebody I love, it's not from somebody I love already, he's saying that يكون أسخف جدا, يكون سخيفا جدا. In that case, it becomes very ridiculous. It's not really of any value. When a loved one hurts you, it's really painful. So he says, إني أعيش حياة كلها. No, he says كذبت عمدا على قلبي بلا سبب. كذبت عمدا. عمدا means you did it willingly. You did it. You intentionally did it. Amdan, intentionally. So it says كذبت عمدا, you lied intentionally, على قلبي, to my heart, بلا سبب, without any reason. أف لفعلك هذا كيف أنهانا. أف is fie, F-I-E. Fie is like how dirty this action of yours is. أف لفعلك هذا. Says فلا تقل لهما أف ولا تنهرهما. In the Quran, فلا تقل لهما أف. Do not say fie to them. Do not say anything little that will hurt them. That is what we represent with أف. And he says أف لفعلك هذا. Fie be to this work of yours, this action of yours. كيف أنهانا. How it has parted us, how it has caused us to part ways. إني أعيش حياة كلها عمل. He says, I am living a kind of life, all of it is work. ما للحياة بها والحب أو ما للحياة بها والحب عنوانا. Life, enjoying life and love do not have address to my life. That is what he says. Inni aishu hayatan kulluha amalun. I am living a particular life. All of it is work. Ma lil hayati biha wal hubbi unwana. Life, enjoying life and love do not know the address to my life. So my life does not have love and does not have enjoyment. And then he says, wazittiha anti, and you've increased it, you. Hayatan, you've wazittiha anti mautan fawqa mitatiha. You've increased it in death. You've increased its death fawqa mitatiha, after, above its death. So he's complained that my heart is dead and you've increased its death. زدتها أنت موتا فوق ميتتها وزادها البعد بعد القرب حرمانا. And fatherness, after they've been close, has denied him, has deprived him. So he was with his beloved, and now he's saying that وزادها البعد, and fatherness increased it in what? بعد القرب حرمانا. أي زادها البعد حرمانا. Okay, so fatherness has caused the two people, the two lovers, denial, has denied them, kind of, because they are far, they can't get each other. And then he says Herman is actually denial or depriving somebody of something. He says لن يرجع الدمع مهما هل ضحكتنا. Says the tears will not be returned no matter how our smiles or our laughter is apparent. Mahma halla, however it's apparent. That's what we call mahma halla ضحكتنا, our laughter or our smile. ولن تعيد لنا الأحزان موتانا, and sadness will not bring back our dead. لن تعيد لنا الأحزان موتانا. Then he says فلترحلي عن ضلوعي بعدما كسرت. So go away from my ribs after it has been broken. فلترحلي عن ضلوعي, go away from my ribs بعدما كسرت, after it has been broken. البرد قاس, the cold is severe. البرد قاس, the cold is really severe. وقلبي صار عريانا, and my heart is now naked. When there is severe cold that everybody needs a blanket and all that, this is the time that his heart has been ripped naked. It has been stripped very naked. Aryan, naked. And it says here, أين الطريق إلى الدنيا أو أين الطريق إلى دنيا بلا نكد. I think this is also the title of the poem. Normally you see أين الطريق إلى دنيا بلا نكد. أين الطريق, where is the path? إلى دنيا, to a world بلا نكد, that does not have stress and all this wahala in life. All this problem in life is called naked. He says, where is the path that leads to a world, a kind of world that does not have stress, disturbance, annoyance, and all that? And he says, فَكَوْكَبُ الْأَرْضِ يَا اللَّهُ. Oh God, this earth, أَشْقَانَا, has caused us distress. ذنبي, my sin, وذنب كثير لست أعرفهم, and the sins of a lot of people that I do not know. Anna wathikna is that we trusted. Ala shakkin. Ala shakkin, yani we barely trusted, or we trusted due to we've been taken into, we feeling like let's just support. So he says, ذنبي وذنب كثير لست أعرفه, my sin and the sins of a lot of people that I do not know. Anna, that we, wathikna, we trusted. Ala shakkin, due to obsession, we trusted. Biman khana, we trusted somebody who deceived. He says, أين الطريق إلى دنيا بلا نكد فكوكب الأرض يا الله أشقانا. He says, ذنبي وذنب كثير لست أعرفهم, my sins and the sins of a lot of people that I do not know. Anna wathikna is that we trusted. Ala shakkin. Ala shakkin can mean, if it's somewhere else, can mean on doubt, because shak is doubt, on doubt. But then here, ala shakkin, we say that obsession, due to obsession. We trusted due to obsession somebody who deceives. Okay, I hope we've learned a thing or two as usual. It's a very, very lengthy bait, as you can see. It's lengthy, that's why I just decided to go in quickly. As I will provide the text, if you see the text and there is any word you don't understand, please ask. Okay, so till we meet again, have a very good time. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.